Hey guys, my name is Nicholas Rozier, and I want to drop a short testimonial about Pavlok and how I used it to overcome negative thinking. Because I'm an entrepreneur and pretty heavily A-type personality, and what that means, though, if being A-type personality, if you can't be purposeful with your internal dialogue, it tends to be negative and hypercritical, and that was where I was at, always complaining and critical of everything around me in my internal dialogue. And I got a hold of a Pavlok and put that on and decided every time I'm negative, I'm going to shock myself. And when I shock myself, I'm then going to say something positive about the situation to help kind of rewire that. And in the first 24 hours, I shocked myself 32 times in 24 hours. And mind you, I was asleep for 8 of those. So it's more like, 16 hours, I shocked myself 32 times. And when I started it, I wasn't mindful really of my negative thoughts. I wouldn't catch every one of them. And it would just, every third or fourth time I was negative, I would realize I was negative and I would shock myself. And then I became, with every shock, I became more aware of the next time. And I would shock myself again and then again. And by day 2, though, I had become so aware of my internal dialogue and the negative criticisms of everything around me that I only shocked myself 4 times. Because when I would become aware that I was about to say something negative or about to critique something in a negative way, I would stop and I would jump right to the positive, and then I could skip the shock because I didn't actually engage in the negative activity. And so what I found was, one, first off, the Pavlok made me more aware as time went on, of my negative internal dialogue. And then 2, that gave me the opportunity to be more positive in the first place. So I could change that habit at its root, right? That initial activity would change from negative to positive. And then the third day that I had it was I was on a business trip in Boston when I got it. And the third day was my trip back home. And I started the third day off early in the morning going to the Boston airport, which I think we all know is a field that is ripe for harvesting negative things from. And my flight got delayed, my gate changed, it got delayed again, get on the flight, it's cramped and tight. I get to the next place where I have a layover, but because of the delays on the first flight, my layover was extended because I missed the connecting flight. And then they changed and rerouted me to somewhere else. And basically I had a 20-hour travel day for what should have been a 6-hour flight. And I didn't shock myself once. I didn't complain one time. Every time I thought about doing something or saying something negative, I would catch it. I was aware it was going on, and I would state the positive. Hey, it took 20 hours to get here. It's a lot faster than a wagon train that they used to use, right? We're blessed to have this technology and airplanes to get us here in 6 hours or 20 hours instead of 3 months. Something like that. Just change the perspective. And so I really think if you take a Pavlok and use it for negative thoughts in your internal dialogue, you're going to become more aware of it. You'll be able to start being positive from the get-go, and you can nip this habit in the bud really quickly. Took me 3 days. So hope that helps. And if you have any questions, I would say just pull the trigger. When in doubt, pull the trigger on something like this. It'll change your life for the better.